Now let's relax ourselves with a lovely Friday lesson in wine, courtesy of the founder of Blass himself. It is, of course, Mr. Wolfgang Blass and his right-hand man, George Samios. Gentlemen, welcome. You have kept me alive for years. I am a serious... honestly, if you were to cut me open right now, it'd just be all your wine, everywhere, all over the set. So tell us from the beginning then, how did you get started?
Yeah, I think, I came here about 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And today is a very special occasion because I'm opening the Wine and Food Festival down at the Show Society. And
that's why you're here.
That's why I'm here. And I think it's also supported by Tesco, the big supermarket chain. So it's going to be a lot of fun tonight from 7 o'clock onwards for the next couple of days.
It's going to be messy.
Yeah,
it's
massive. Yeah.
So, how long then are you in the wine business?
I started...
Is it 30 years?
You asked me my age more.
No, I wouldn't.
65 years in viticulture and winemaking now, next year. By next year.
Well, your wine is extremely popular over here, as you probably know. I'd say we're good clients.
It's adding some spirit to Ireland and to people. That's why you have got such a sense of humour.
Yes.
The wine is helping you.
Well, the wine just keeps me going.
Yeah.
Okay, are we going to try some stuff now? What do we have here, lads?
Well, we have. This is the Blass Yellow Label Chardonnay. So this is one of our most popular white wines.
Yes.
And Wolf, when he started in '61 in Australia in 1961, hadn't really made red wine, so he cut his teeth making white wine. Obviously studied in Germany and worked in Champagne. And we think now the Australian wine industry will make some of the best Chardonnay in the world.
Yeah.
But we just haven't taken them to the world enough. We've only really been making Chardonnay for 30, 40 years, and I think this is a really good example of what we can do with Chardonnay.
That's right, it'd be rude not to, seeing as he is.
Yeah, here you go, Wolfie.
Yeah, you better start pouring me a glass, thank you.
So our winery's in the Barossa Valley in South Australia.
Cheers. Cheers, boys.
Yeah, cheers. Good to see you.
Cheers.
Our winery's in the Barossa in South Australia, so most of the grapes for this come from the neighbouring regions in South Australia, McLaren Vale and also the Clare Valley. And the key to this wine is the freshness.
Okay. And how would you test your wine? I know, say you're smelling it. Do you always test every bottle?
No, there's three ways. First of all, you have to look at the clarity of the wine. This is very important. Then you're going to nose, get the bouquet, and then you enjoy once you're going to touch it with your tongue. And it's like a giraffe. It has to go down very slowly and enjoy every sip of it. And I think that is what wine is all about. It's fun, it's lifestyle, and it's supposed to be a social... It should create a social activity, and this is what wine is all about.
Yes, and it's nice to have with a meal. Okay, let's move on to our next one then, boys.
Let's do the red. If I can just pinch another glass
go
in front of you. So this is...
Martin and Brian are going to finish this all off anyway, so be free with your portions.
They will. I'll mix the eggs in with it.
Yeah.
This is the Yellow Label Cabernet Sauvignon. So this is our #1 wine, and it's an important wine here in Ireland, especially at the moment. We've just signed a partnership with Leinster in the rugby, and this will be the wine that we'll be featuring a lot there, and it's our biggest selling wine in the world, and was Wolf's first wine in 1966. So we've been making this wine for near 50 years, and it's a great Cabernet. It's got softness, it's got richness, and that's the secret to Wolfie's wines. They've always had lots of flavour, but they're easy to drink.
It's a very distinct taste, though, I think, with your wine.
Yes, I think it's drinkability. This is what we have created.
Yes.
Changed probably the style of wine, and the rest of the world has followed us. And, we must have done something right. I started with 3,000 bottles, and now we are selling 60 million. So something must have done right. And Ireland has been always a very great favourite of our products. And we're going to maintain.
Well, and I think they're reasonably priced, They're not too expensive. No, they're not cheap, but they're not too expensive. And you get what you pay for. It's good quality
value for money. This is what it is.
Value for money, yeah, definitely value for money.
And consistency in its quality and its character. It's like its maker.
Yes.
Always the same.
Well, I mean, may I compliment you on how dapper you look? I think all the men that come into our studio should look as well as you.
Does he look 79?
No, he looks 26.
Yes.
Now, I'm obviously chatting you up because I love your wine.
Yeah.
And one day we will marry. Okay, so let's move on then to #3 then, boys.
Yeah,
We're going to go back to white?
Yeah, we might just stick onto this.
Red.
Stick onto the red here. I'm going to tip in the now. I know I shouldn't do that, but I'll do that.
Don't worry, it will be drunk.
So this wine is the President's Selection. So this is an interesting wine because we don't actually sell this wine in Australia. It's a wine that Wolf started in the 1970s to provide something for overseas people to have that was different.
Yeah.
For two reasons, just to give them something different, but also when people were travelling from Australia, he wanted them to recognise the Wolf Blass name on a wine list or in a liquor store, but see that it was something different. So then they would keep buying his wines even if they're in a different country. So one thing about Wolf, he was a great wine marketer as well as a good winemaker.
Yes.
You know, the bow tie in itself became an identity symbol that everyone knows him now around the world.
You noticed the special bow tie I'm wearing today.
Little Leinster one. Yes.
Yeah.
Well done, you.
Yes, because we're part of the sponsorship.
Yes, well, so
then we're going to taste to that one.
Let's do it then, boys. So this is President's Selection.
President's Selection Cabernet.
Yes.
So this
Which
comes
is a little bit more expensive, a little bit more luxurious, maybe.
Yeah, it is. It comes from a little bit of a different region. It comes predominantly from Langhorne Creek, which is an area down south in South Australia, and probably greater depth, a bit more richness than the yellow label, and probably from a food perspective, the yellow label Cabernet goes well with lots of things, but this is now probably more the serious meat dishes.
Yes.
Something with a little bit more flavour, and probably from a cellaring potential if you're looking to put some bottles away to mature. And because all our wines are under screw cap, we think they're going to have very, very good long lives. This is probably the one to put away for a bit longer.
Okay, okay. And what would sell better generally over here, red or white?
From my point of view, I prefer commencing with a white wine and then having a taste of the red wine.
Yeah.
And if you really ask me, I'm finishing up with an Irish whiskey.
Oh.
Bye-bye birdie, and I go to sleep.
Wow. Okay.
That's a good.
Well, no one give him any whiskey. He's going to come out. Can't be falling asleep mid-interview.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just finally, just for people at home, I don't think we're going to have time to get through this one, but this is again Cabernet Sauvignon.
That's right. That's the President's Selection, and there's one other there. That, the President's Selection Chardonnay. So again, South Australia sourced, and it's interesting. These wines, obviously, they're called President's Selection, and they haven't got the coloured labels, which Wolf is famous for. You know, black label, grey label, yellow label, etc. But again, it was a marketing idea by Wolf to make wines easy to understand.
You've missed all the fun. Oh well, don't worry, we drank on your behalf.
Well, you know, as they would say in all the good houses, right, it's drinking up time. You know, if you any